A tribute to our beloved mother presentation. It is time to give some thought to the woman who left her mark behind. It was on 10th August 1927 that a star was born into Arakkal family at Chetti in Alappuzha district, Kerala. Mother Presentation was the youngest of 5 children to Mr. Joseph and Mrs. Mary Arakkal. She had 3 elder brothers named Joseph, Francis and Raphael, and an elder sister named Mary. She was baptized on 4th September 1927 and was bestowed the name Kochu Thresia. She had her initial studies at St. Francis Assisi School, Arthungal. She lost her father at an early age. She was brought up in faith and morals by her beloved mother, Mary Arakkal. Born into a religious family, she desired to dedicate her life to the Lord. Thus, on 20th December 1945, she joined the congregation of the Sisters of Saint Anne, Bangalore, which was then situated in the Good Shepherd Convent of the RGS Sisters. It was indeed a time of political crisis between the British rule and the Indian freedom for struggle. She did her grade 3 studies at St. Euphrasia School run by the Good Shepherd Sisters. It was in the garden of Saint Anne that she started to bloom as a candidate, as a junior sister, and as a perpetually professed sister. She made her first commitment to the Lord on 26th July 1948, a few months after the Indian independence. Her commitment came almost as one of the first fruits of the Indian independence. Here we see Mother Presentation along with her mother, brothers, sisters-in-law, niece and nephews. It was in the year 1954, July 26th, that Mother made her final commitment to the Lord in the congregation that she loved most. She chose to get the picture of Saint Anne as her final commitment souvenir to mark her love for the congregation. We see her along with her family members and the members of the congregation. Here is Mother with her niece and nephew who came to seek her blessings. As mentioned earlier, she hails from a religious family. Father Matthew Arakkal was her paternal uncle and Father Anthony Pereira was her maternal uncle. Besides this, she has her cousin sister by name Mother Bridget, who joined the order of Canossians and went on to become one of the most revered and prominent provincials in the congregation. God sends miracles every day. We just have to train our eyes to be aware of them. From now on, we see turn of events in the life of Mother Presentation. It all began with the freedom struggle anchored by Right Reverend Dr. Thomas Pothakamuri, the first Archbishop of Bangalore. He was a visionary who saw the ray of hope for our congregation. He fought nail and tooth and went on to become the Moses of our Exodus. We fondly remember him not only as our reformer but also as our co-founder who gave rebirth to our existence, thanks to his undying spirit. After coming into the land of Canaan of our existence, Mother Presentation went on to climb the ladder with the display of various offices. It was Bishop Thomas Pothecamry who recognized the talent of Mother Presentation and sent her for higher studies. From 1959 to 1961, she did her PUC and BA at Mount Carmel College, Bangalore. In the early 1960s, she already showed signs of her leadership. Here we see her seated next to Monsignor Celestine, who built the first chapel at Millers Road. Mother Presentation and Mother Barbara are seen with Mother Divine Heart, who was said to be on a wheelchair. She was the foundress of Marian Primary and St. Mary's Girls High School. She also became the first principal of St. Mary's Girls High School. When it comes to discipline, she never compromised. She was totally dedicated and actively involved in the growth of the school. She was friendly with the school staff. Teachers feared her but also revered her. She kept Mother Vincent of the Good Shepherd Convent as her spiritual guide. She consulted her on the activities and administration. One of the letters that Mother Presentation received in 1970 was her preserved asset. God had His plans for the young Indian congregation, and He decided that the SAB family was ready for its own administration. So He bestowed His light, ending the dark and difficult period. It was in the year 1971 that Mother Presentation was elected as the first Superior General of the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Anne, Bangalore. An account of her leadership qualities, she was elected for the second term in the year 1977, and she functioned in that office till 1983. On this occasion, Mother Vincent of RGS, who was at Amati in South Coorg, wrote to Mother Presentation congratulating her and her new counselors, Mother Barbara, Mother Josepha and Mother Visitation. In this mail, she went on to give some advice to the newly elected Superior General. Referring to the final days of our exodus from the Good Shepherd Convent, she wrote, "I am happy that first to take our guidance of your order are persons who shared in the work of Good Shepherd in your earlier religious life. No doubt, the time of suffering and trial of 1958 to 1959 has matured you so that you can look back on it with all gratitude to God in your hearts, and most probably that maturity has now fitted you for the position of responsibility to which you are called." During the tenure of her office as Superior General, she was ably assisted by a noble person, Mother Barbara. They worked united, facing life's hardships with prayers on their knees and smile on their face. They were termed as ducks in pair or 88. As Superior General of the congregation, her immediate interest was to promote occasions. Her love for occasions did not come alive as a Superior General. She had it even while she was in Good Shepherd Convent. The letter which she wrote to Mary Kuti in 1959 is a proof of her love for occasions. This Mary Kuti joined the order and went on to become Sister Holy Name. Here we see Mother Presentation with the first batch of professed sisters after our independence from the Good Shepherd Convent. She cherished occasions. Look at her happiness with a bunch of occasions that she promoted from St. Mary's Girls High School. She flaunted this photo to all who came to visit her. She readily posed for the photos with the sisters who were promoted by her to the congregation. This goes on to tell how much she loved the congregation. The then Archbishop Lurdusamy, the successor of Bishop Thomas Pothakamuri, continued to guide the congregation in its administration. Mother Presentation maintained a friendly relationship with various cardinals and bishops of her time. This helped her to open houses in India and abroad. The light that she lit in those years has transformed our institutions into a formation center for young citizens of India. Her visits to the communities were an occasion of joy and gladness to the members. She checked not only for their material well-being, but more importantly for their spiritual well-being. As a strict disciplinarian, she did not tolerate laxity in the observance of rules. Her feast day was a moment of great happiness for the sisters. It was a day for sisters to express their affection to her. Normally, the feast was celebrated for 3 days, in the generalate by the sisters belonging to Miller Road community, by the school children, and by the various communities. Very rarely, she celebrated with her family members. One such rare moment is what we see here in this photo. It was in 1973 that Mother celebrated her silver jubilee. At this time, she had undergone hysterectomy, yet she was radiant. As a mark of her special love for Sacred Heart, she got printed this souvenir with the promises of the Sacred Heart to Saint Margaret Mary for the souls devoted to the Sacred Heart. It was in the year 1980 that her beloved assistant, Mother Barbara, passed away unaware of any sign of her nearing death. The death of Mother Barbara created a great vacuum. It was simply a hope against hope in administration. During the Parents' Day celebrations, as a manager of the school, she always updated the parents about the congregation's growth in number as you see it. She even mentioned that the Shakuntala drama that was put up was in order to seek the monetary help towards constructing the auditorium for the school. She loved St. Mary's Girls High School not just because she cared it from its infancy, but mainly because she could promote so many occasions. Probably it was this passion that made her to continue to be involved in the school even after her term as Superior General was over. She took personal interest in making the Silver Jubilee of this school a great success. Even here, we see that the photos of the student sisters of St. Mary's being displayed in the school souvenir. She got so engrossed with the well-being of the congregation that she did not find time for family. So much so, she could not even attend the funeral of her mother. One of the spiritual assets of Mother Presentation was that she never missed praying for the departed souls. She kept the list of all the departed sisters and made intercessory prayers for them. While she was general, in one of her circulars, She acknowledged the spirituality of the departed sisters and our responsibility of not only praying for them but acquiring the spirituality left behind by them. She wrote, "We lack charity if we do not pray for the departed souls. Common prayers and offering Mass keep love alive. We should also imitate our sisters. They were agreeable when they had reason to be disagreeable, silent when they felt like cursing and swearing, helpful without expecting gratitude. They smiled even if they had to grind their teeth." She always desired for the growth of the congregation. In her circulars, she insisted that we remain faithful to our congregation. She wrote, "Every young and old must keep the congregation's interest first and dedicate themselves to make it strong, prosperous, and holy. Our progress lies in unity, discipline, and dedication. Let us work towards that end." Anyone in touch with Mother Presentation would immediately point out how devoted she was to Mother Mary. Her mantra was, "To Jesus through Mary." She beamed with joy when she merely thought of Marian feasts. How she loved the decorations of flowers and lights on Mary. Her devotion took the form of hymns dedicated to Mother Mary, which she got printed for the sisters in the congregation. They are the Angelus, Hymn to the Perpetual Succor, and Ave Maria, the Rosary Hymn. Grottos dedicated to Our Lady were her muse. She was enchanted at the sight. She got the grottos constructed wherever it was possible. In the file photos, you see her at the grotto at Millers Road and TC Palia. The candle procession to the grotto was her expression of another devotion to Mother Mary. She inculcated this devotion in the Formis. Besides Mother Mary, she was totally dedicated to Saint Anne, the mother of Mary and our beloved patroness. See her joy in the presence of Saint Anne. She in fact made monetary contributions to erect the statues of Saint Anne in some communities. The novena days were of particular importance to Mother. The novena litany was chanted while the procession was on. Of course, novena could not be without the hymns dedicated to Saint Anne. Who can deny that her voice overpowered the rest while singing? She always reminded the youngsters that we need to be under the protecting banner of our patroness Saint Anne. She was not merely devoted to Mother Mary and Saint Anne, but her personal devotion was mainly to the Sacred Heart. Her most favorite hymn was, "Oh, take me to thy Sacred Heart." Anytime you sing this hymn, she was gladdened. No wonder she wished that this hymn should be sung at her deathbed. In her enthusiasm, she prepared a prayer of beatification of our founder, Bishop Stephen Louis Charbonneau. The process of working toward his sainthood commenced by Mother Presentation. After 2 consecutive successful terms as a Superior General, she was elected as an Assistant General to Mother Margaret Mary. Who can ever forget the struggle that Mother fought to claim for the present Generalate building and the campus? The frequent walk into the court, as well as numerous travelers she made to the house of the lawyers, and the amount of prayer she made kneeling, finally brought success. we see the joy on her face on achieving something which everyone thought was impossible. Her devotion and piety gave way to success in all that she got involved. Even though she was not the superior general, with great enthusiasm and well-planned interest, she took upon herself the mode of celebrating the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the congregation. How can one forget the musical, the saga of a great vision, and the Magnificat dance, Mary Atma, which went on to become such a rage? Today, when seeking monetary help becomes a matter of shame, Mother never shied away from openly begging. She wrote official letters seeking help, stating, "On the occasion of 25th Silver Jubilee of our congregation, we propose to impart higher secondary education for 500 underprivileged girls and also help other non-income institutes of our congregation where many are benefited. As a Silver Jubilee memorial, your generous contribution will be greatly supportive for the continuation and expansion of this noble cause." Another feather on her cap was her interest in getting the pontifical status to the congregation. She made it sure that it was a mega event in the congregation. In her own convictions, she had an aptitude for reading and writing, singing and gardening. One of these aptitudes gave way to writing at the request of the senior sisters and the diocesan priest a brief history of the congregation from 1954 to 1989, ranging for about 17 pages and signed by her. This later took the form of the first ever history book of the congregation. In this venture, she was ably assisted by Reverend Father I. Antappa and Sister Valerian. After her term as the Assistant General, she also worked as the Regional Superior of the South, and she worked towards the formation of the region into a province. Later, she also worked as an Assistant Provincial to Our Lady of Mercy Province, the name given by her in memory of our exodus from the Good Shepherd Convent on 24th September 1959. Many know her only as a strict religious woman, but she has a total human face to her many interests. One of her favorite hobbies while at recreation was knitting. She enjoyed doing this work. Who said that she was interested in the administration alone? Look at the way she worked towards green world at the Generalate. Today, the field of Our Lady of Mercy Provincialate is full of coconut and mango groves, which goes to say her personal supervision. Little children were always her joy. She always addressed them as Chinnakuttis. Another interest was in the animals. She loved dogs and puppies and did not hesitate to express her love. Cats were yet another interest. She often conversed with them and pitied when they were beaten up. She was always at her best while conversing with the family members of the sisters. She was familiar with the family members and their situations. One cannot but appreciate her for the powerful memory she was gifted with, as she remembered the families by their individual names. She was a woman par excellence when it comes to communication. She was prompt in replying to all the mails she received. She, in fact, kept a list of the sisters to whom she must write or respond and tick-marked when she had replied. It goes without saying how she loved the priests. She prayed continuously for them and also made sure that they were treated well. She always made a request with them to pray for the congregation. When she was freed from all official responsibilities, we got to see her total humanness. She loved the company of the sisters. What a hearty laugh. Savoring the fun. Chumma oru umma. Look at this naughty smile. How down to earth and jovial she is. Who could ever think that the youngsters can place their hands on her shoulder so freely? She joyfully took part in every celebration of the community. Who could be her Christmas friend? A guarded secret. Amidst all these characteristics, she grew old gracefully. Having said all these adjective attributes, none can match her when it comes to her prayer life. She was a woman of prayer. Never missed the prayers, whether she was sick or healthy. She always made it a point to reach the novitiate to participate in the Eucharistic celebration. She strongly encouraged high effort of Seeds of Reflections. She made it a point to read by herself the reflections from the Seeds of Reflection booklet. Rosary was her personal identity itself. Can anyone think of Mother Presentation without rosary beads rolling? The last thing she did before leaving the chapel after the night prayers was to kiss all the holy pictures in her prayer book. Every year on 31st December, she reminded the sisters about taking a particular saint's message for the year. She kept alive all the traditions and customs of the congregation. She was totally irritated when the sisters were late for prayer. And when at prayer, if sisters were distracted, she was displeased to the core. Rarely she smiled at the mistakes committed by the sisters during prayers. As a preferential option for the poor, she loved feeding them. Even while she was sick, she loved to supervise this human act. She respected the authorities and personally came to meet and greet them. Mother at the dining table having a simple meal. She was sad and irritated when she was left alone at the dining table. Now we come to the sad journey of Mother during her sicknesses. First, in the year 2002, she suffered from an unexpected brain hemorrhage with no hope of survival. But God willed otherwise. After the surgery, she survived it and took nearly 4 months to get back to the normal health. However, post-surgery, her right eye was slightly affected. After nearly 9 to 10 years of survival, she was faced with old age-related problems and a cancer of the stomach in the year 2009 to 2010. She had to undergo yet another surgery. She lay there in humble submission. During this suffering period, she was accompanied with prayerful support by her beloved sisters. As a result, she started to show signs of life. Sisters assisted and cared for her with great love and respect. Even on her sick bed, with almost unconscious stage, she woke up to the hymns on Mary. We see her here clapping rhythmically to the hymn. Sense of humor never left her even when she was sick. This was her nobility. She made people feel at ease in her company. She survived this ordeal for almost a year, and in 2011 she started showing signs of poor state of health. She started to prepare for her final journey in silence. She knew that the end was near. She suffered silently. She never complained, never demanded for a better treatment. She was totally prepared for her final journey. The promised day arrived on 12th October 2011 when she was knocking the doors of heaven for admission. She was administered the sacrament of the sick, after which she breathed her last, accompanied by the hymn, "O take me to thy sacred heart." The first funeral mass was held at Our Lady of Mercy Provincialate. In order to facilitate the sisters and relatives to attend the funeral mass, the body was shifted to the mortuary at St. John's Hospital till 15th October. On 15th October, placards holding the image of Mother was displayed in and around the campus of the Provincialate and the parish church. Flocks of people consisting of sisters, priests, family members, and lay friends were by the body of Mother to pay their last homage. At 1 p.m., the body was taken in procession, accompanied by prayers and tears and deep reverence. The procession led to St. Anthony's Church at T.C. Palya, the first ever funeral mass to be held in the parish from Our Lady of Mercy province. The church was packed to the full with all her beloved sisters, near and dear ones. The funeral mass was celebrated by Right Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris, the Archbishop of Bangalore, and concelebrated by over 40 priests. After the mass, the body was taken back in procession to Our Lady of Mercy Province burial ground to be placed in a passage to her eternal abode. Thus, she was crowned in peace forever, freeing from all earthly pains and sufferings. Here lies the body of a valiant woman. The 40th day was celebrated with due respect on 20th November 2011. Today, we stand before your tomb, taking forward your legacy of candle procession with blue-veiled globe. In response, into the light that you have lighted, we long to awake. You have disappeared into the clouds, but not from our memories. However, dear Mother, we miss you so much. We offer you our bouquet of love for all that you were for the SAB family. Keep guiding and showing us the way and the means to reach the Father's kingdom. May we learn to transform our thorn of suffering into crown of glory. Intercede for your beloved daughters. Let us be united in prayer and blessing. From our part, we keep the pearls of your wisdom and wise advice and improve our commitment.